Welcome to this week's edition of Outdoors Online, a weekly webcast produced by the North Dakota Game and Fish Department. I'm your host, Tom Jensen. The North Dakota State Fair, just around the corner, a couple of weeks away. The Game and Fish Department has a huge presence at the annual event. My guest this week is Greg Gullickson. Greg is the outreach biologist here in Minot, which is, of course, the site of the State Fair. Greg, you're going to get very busy very soon, huh?
Yeah, we certainly are, Tom. In fact, that State Fair is right around the corner, like you mentioned. It kicks off Friday, July 17th and runs for the next nine days. So, yeah, there'll be a lot of activity here and a lot of great outdoor stuff to do. You know, when you think of a state fair, you think concert, you think rides, you think all the great food that's at the fair.
Sure.
And right here we have a little bit of an outdoor oasis right in the middle of the state fair that showcases a lot of the different outdoor activities that are available in North Dakota. And you know, the highlights, obviously the fishing pond, but we have trapping, we have a hunter education area where you actually get to shoot a BB gun. We have fur bearer education, and we have archery, so a lot of different things. And then also the opportunity to visit with a game and fish biologist.
Sure. How long has Game and Fish been involved with the State Fair?
We've been here just over 2 decades. We started right around 1992 and then have slowly improved and added on over the years, and now we have what you see behind us. I think we've got 9 buildings out here and just a lot of good hands-on education.
Sure. It started off as a small information booth. We answered questions and things like that, and like you mentioned, it evolved into the Outdoor Skills Park. Let's go through some of these venues one by one and explain what they are and what the people can do. Start with the anglers.
Yeah, you know, the number one thing is probably our angling pond, and you know, the anglers can come through. We've got some aquariums set up with a lot of the different aquatic species, whether it's invertebrates, whether it's some bait fish, all the way up to some of our game fish. Then we have a section in there where it's identification, where you can look at all the different species of fish that are in North Dakota and look at those mounts and replicas that we have in there, some lake maps, some contour maps, and then finally out onto the dock area where you get to try your hand at a little bit of casting before you actually get to get out on the dock and do some fishing. So polishing up on some of your casting skills. Then on the dock, it's really simple. It's back from the Andy Griffith days. It's a bamboo pole, a piece of line, a hook, a weight, a bobber, and a worm.
And they don't have to know anything about fishing to participate.
Nothing at all, as long as you can hang on to a rod. You know, there's youngsters that are 3 years old that catch their first fish right here on the dock. So that's really interesting in the fishing area.
We have the hunting venue, of course, hunter education involved, but it's actually very hands-on.
It is, and basically what it is, it's an introduction into the hunter safety program. There's a quick 3-station course that you go through talking about the different kinds of firearms, how you handle them, how to make a good sight picture, and just how to be safe. And then once we've covered that part, we actually do a live fire with our pellet gun range back there. So it's really interesting to get that hands-on experience.
You mentioned archery before, and this is something that's relatively new.
It is. Archery at the fair has been around maybe 6-8 years, but it's something that's gaining in popularity across North Dakota, especially with the National Archery in the Schools program. What we have here mimics what the kids can actually shoot in the classroom, in their gym, and then participate in the state tournament that we have. So it's, and the archery equipment is set up for anyone. It's an indefinite draw bow. It's only 14 to 20 pounds that the kids draw, or adults. And that's one of the things that really makes it interesting, being able to shoot down range at some of those 3D and some of those round targets that we have.
Another fairly new venue that you have out here is the trapping.
Yeah, the trapping section deals with all sorts of different things. It's trapping, it's fur bearers, it's predator hunting, showcasing some of the different fur-bearing species that we have in North Dakota. And those are our main 4 areas that we have out here. The other thing that we have is we have 2 information booths this year, one on the east side, one on the west side. We'll have biologists staffing both of those, so whichever end of the fair that you come to see us at, there'll be a game and fish biologist there to meet you.
One thing that you've developed over the years, Greg, and I know that you were instrumental in getting a lot of this stuff done, and if you've ever been at the State Fair, you know how hot it can be on the Midway. It's the end of July. We can see temperatures in the 90s and 100s. And you've got this beautiful little picnic area back here. There's lots of shade and places for people to picnic and things like that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we've worked hard on. You know, we do have paved walkways that go through our area, but we've tried to keep it as green as possible, as much grass as possible. ample shade here. You know, we've worked hard to plant trees, to maintain the trees that we have here. We've got close to 40 picnic tables that we scatter through the area, so you know, even if you're not interested in participating in anything, come get out of the sun and just take a break in the Conservation Outdoor Skills Park.
If you've walked through here, you know that we're almost out of room. Now, do you have any plans for expansion in the future?
We actually do. You know, some of our buildings here, you know, they've been around for, you know, close to 20 years,
yep.
and honestly, some of the demand is outgrowing the facility that we have. And the other thing that we've done over the years too, we're not just here for 9 days of fair and gone. This facility actually gets used all 4 seasons out of the year. It gets used in the winter for tracking and snowshoeing and doing things like that. The local wildlife clubs use the building for meetings. There's youth festivals. There's kind of a meeting grounds or a place to gather before youth hunts. So, I mean, the area gets used a lot. One of the things with the expansion is the replacement, or 2 of the things on our wish list for expansion are replacing the hunter education range, and we'd like to turn that into a 4 seasons building so that we could actually teach full-scale hunter ed classes throughout the year. It just gives another facility to do that. Same thing with our archery. We're kind of starting to have lines at archery, and we don't like those kids to have to sit and wait. So we want to expand our archery area and maybe have a little bit bigger building to do that in as well.
Let's give them the dates and the hours that we're open.
We're open all 9 days of the fair, from 1 o'clock till 7 o'clock, and the fair does kick off Friday, July 17th, and it runs for those 9 days. Stop by and see us. It's a great thing, and probably the best thing, Tom, is the cost. Everything out here is free. So once you get inside the game and fish area, you don't need to pull your wallet out. Just sit back, enjoy, catch a few fish, blink a few targets with the pellet guns, shoot a few arrows, study a few furs, and just relax. It's a nice area to take the family.
Greg, thanks.
You bet, Tom.
The Game and Fish Department's Conservation and Outdoor Skills Park is located on the north end of the state fairgrounds across from the event center. As Greg mentioned, the Skills Park is open from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. every day. The fair is scheduled to run from July 17th through July 25th. For Greg Gullickson and the rest of the staff here at North Dakota Game and Fish, thanks for joining us for Outdoors Online. We'll see you again next week.